Alright, listen up. New Battlefield is coming out, Battlefield 6. But before that one, we will rate every single Battlefield game that came out. Listen, there is a lot of hype going on right now, and we had really highs ups, really lows downs as of late. And I want to go through each game and rate them on what I think how good they are. I'll talk a little bit about them, but before that one, just to let you guys know, it's my own opinion. You might not agree with it. I don't care. It's my opinion. And on another note, like and subscribe. But let's go. Anyways, look, listen. I got these 3 games on the bottom. So that's the futuristic one that came out in 2005, I believe. Battlefield 1942, which is a game I didn't play. I don't know much about it. I didn't play, so I'm not going to judge it. So some of these games I've played little bit, and I know some about it. I played it, so I'll judge it on that one. So let's just go ahead, man, and let's judge them. Let's judge them. All right, listen. Let's start off with Battlefield Vietnam, because I grew up with this game. Not grew up with this game, but it's more like it's the game that introduced me to the franchise. It was a game that was... I didn't have gaming PC, so I remember back in that day, my cousin who had a PC, when I would go to his house, I would see this game and I'd go on it, and we both would play it for hours of end, and it stuck with me, man. I enjoyed it. I loved it. It was the whole... It was a game that I've never experienced before, if that makes sense. Like I used to go to the internet cafes, used to play Counter-Strike, Half-Life, but this type of open world where it's like a sandbox game, I've never experienced it before, and I loved it. And as a kid, I had fun, like, you know, because I had so many options. Obviously, in today's standards, is it the best game? Maybe not, but it was still solid, so I'm going to give this game a B. I'm not going to give it A or S. My memory is like a really good memories, if that makes sense. I can remember the good parts, but I can't really remember in really big detail for me to be like, oh yeah, this game was like a S tier. But you have to understand, I was maybe like 9-10 years old, if that makes sense. So my memory is a bit jaggy now. So, but for it introducing me to the franchise, I'll give it a high grade. Battlefield 2. Listen, Battlefield 2, I had really limited time as well. I didn't own PC, and when I did have it, I played it a little bit. And you have to respect it, because this is the first Battlefield game that was set in modern war. You have to understand the period of time as well. Everybody, when I say everybody, like literally every single FPS game was World War II. And when you had Battlefield 2 coming in with like a modern game, it changed the game. Because now you have, for the first time, you have tanks, you have jets, you have helicopters, all-out warfare that we've never seen before, and it kind of elevated the whole FPS genre, and I think this game is like a big pillar of that one. And I had a good time when I enjoyed it. I'm gonna put on B tier right now. I will review it, but we'll see about it. Battlefield Play to Free. The reason why I chose Battlefield Play to Free was because it's pretty much Battlefield 2, but free to play. Now you would be like, yeah, put it on B right now because, you know, it's the same game, right? No. Listen, this game was one of the biggest pay to fucking win games I've ever met in my life, man. Obviously there was more shitty games out there, but it was very pay to win. So it would give you maps, you'll play for free, fair enough. But if you want to have really good guns, or you really want to play a different class, let's say you choose Recon, you can't choose another class unless you fucking pay for it. It was bad. That's the reason I'm not going to give it a good score. The whole pay to win section kind of ruined it for me. Obviously, it's cool to play Battlefield, experience Battlefield for free, but if I had to pay for the recon, to medic, like basically the game was like, choose one class to play as. You choose that class, let's say I choose medic, that's it. you only can play with medic. You can't choose assault, you can't choose recon, and if you do want to choose it, you have to pay, bro. You have to pay. So fuck that. Obviously, I'm gonna give it F. I'm sorry, but no pay to win games or something that's trying to make you pay to that much. I'm sorry, but it's not free to play. It's fucking pay to win. Let's move on. Bad Company. Let's go with Bad Company. Very questionable in this game. A lot of people are going to be shocked, but this is one of the Battlefield games that I've never played. So, yeah, I'll put it there. As in, listen, when this game came out, I'm a teenager, man. I'm in a secondary school. I don't have money. Like, for me to get money, for me to buy games back in the day, like, my parents didn't buy it for me. So, what I had to do was basically they would give me lunch money and I would not spend it. I would basically not eat anything at school, so I would save up the money that they give me, and that's how I got my games. And it was very limited, so I didn't have the money to wipe out, and it was on PlayStation 3 where I had the demo. So what that does is basically, I remember going through the games on PlayStation Store, then there was a demo section where there's a lot of games where you could play like a very limited time, and I played the demo on this one. It's a single player demo, by the way. And when you find the gold, it was funny. The characters, everything was so good. When you get the gold, that's it. The game finishes with a trailer. And I wanted it, but obviously I can't buy it today because the servers are down and the game pretty much doesn't exist on consoles. So yeah, it's a game I missed, but if I, in this mindset, if I had the money, I would definitely buy it. Moving on. You know, we started with Bad Company, so why don't we go with Bad Company 2? Listen, this here is the first time where I didn't give a fuck about Call of Duty. Obviously, I did buy the Call of Duty, but this game has drawn me back into Battlefield. The reason it did is because it was masterpiece. This is one of the biggest masterpieces DICE or EA has ever created. Amazing campaign, amazing story, amazing characters, amazing sound, amazing maps, amazing guns, gunplay. Everything about this game was so fucking amazing. And ironically, it doesn't give you the full warfare sandbox in terms of like Battlefield 2, because there's no jets. The maps are much more smaller. They're still big, but they're smaller. Heavy Metal was massive. And obviously, me playing on PlayStation 3, we didn't have 64 players. We only, I think it was only 25 players, from what I remember. Do fix me if I'm wrong though. And I loved it, man. I spent so many hours on this game. I even got my friends into this game. I remember they were all up to like for Call of Duty. I was like, "Do you have to try this game?" And they did, and they loved it. And we've been since playing this game, and good memories, man. Such a good memories. Unfortunately, EA has destroyed the service, so you can no longer. I don't even think you can buy it anymore. You can still play the single player, I think, but multiplayer wise, it's dead. EA killed it, but it's one of those games that I wish it's remade or remastered. It's just the hope now. Hopefully, they'll do it. Battlefield Modern Combat. Listen, you cunts, if you didn't play this on PlayStation 2, I don't know if you can't call yourself a Battlefield fan if you didn't play this, but not really. Listen, it didn't give you the full Battlefield experience, but it was a cool game, I guess. From what I remember, I think it was you versus China. I don't really remember much about it. Only thing I kind of vividly remember is you can switch between soldiers. Like, let's say you're a recon and you see like a engineer, let's say, you look at the engineer and you would fly to that engineer, changing characters. I think I have that little memory in my head. I can't really remember it, but it wasn't a Battlefield experience. No, it was more like a own thing for PlayStation 2, and even if it did have online gameplay, I never was able to do it because I didn't have internet cable to plug my PlayStation 2. So I never had like an internet connection. I didn't even know it existed, if I'm being honest. But I played a single player, and from what I remember, it was okay. It wasn't the best. So E, I guess. And as in, if I don't remember much about it other than a few things, then you get the idea. It was not a Battlefield thingy, but I would not put it F because at least it wasn't pay to win. Man. All right. Battlefield 1944. Listen, this game was a bit of a gem, right? Because this game wasn't available on PC, by the way. So many people on PC never experienced this game. It was I feel like, from what I remember, if I remember it correct, I need to search it, but I think it was a add-on for pre-ordering, what is it, Battlefield Bad Company 2. It wasn't a full-fledged game, by the way, but for the price-wise, I think it was £10. You could buy it standalone for £10, and it was amazing. For the price-wise, it was amazing. Yes, listen, it wasn't going to give you a full-fledged game in terms of like content. You only had 3 maps, I think. You only had 3 classes with 1 gun on each of them, no more than 1. So basically you had like 3 guns in the game. Very limited, very effective. So you had, it was set in World War II for PlayStation 3. You had, planes, tanks, and it was giving you like a Bad Company 2 vibes, but in terms of World War II. And it was unique. And for the price point, it was really good. And I'm not going to lie, it didn't have campaign. I didn't need campaign. For £10, you get a Battlefield experience. Limited, like I said, a million times, but it was really good. The gunplay was fun. I remember being a sniper going on top of the hill. Then you would get like a fucking... Because there's a bunkers in there, people go in there. I was always waiting in a queue for them as well. So you get in them, there's a free plane, you drop a lot of bombs, you get a lot of kills, and man, this was such a fun game. I'm gonna put this on A tier. I love it. I had a really good time of it. It's really nostalgic for me. Outdated, yes, but I'm not gonna judge a game for it being outdated. Come on, a lot of the old games are outdated. It's whether it's like a memory thing for me. I had fun. I had really good amount of fun with it, and it kind of like, back to back, kind of getting me back to Battlefield. There's always something with the Battlefield that gets me in. Battlefield Hardline. Listen, of course I need to speak about Battlefield 4 first, but with Battlefield Hardline, it was tricky, right? It wasn't really tricky. It didn't feel like a game that's worth my time. It wasn't the Battlefield I was looking for. When I say Battlefield, it's a sandbox with the craziest stuff, like where I can drive boats, I can drive cars, I can drive helicopters, I can go on planes. It's all out warfare. That's what Battlefield is for me personally. This game wanted a full price for a Battlefield 4 skin for robs and police and robbers. It didn't sit right with me, man. I don't know. Was it a fun game? Maybe. There was a fun moments on it, but it was not worth the price. It felt like Battlefield 4. Like everything I'm playing it, I'm like, bro, this is like Battlefield 4, but worse. It's just shitty maps, shitty gun. The gunplay was similar, but back when it was released, though, it was lacking in content in terms of that. And guess what? They added the guns. They imported the guns from Battlefield 4 to Hardline. Be like, yeah, look, this is a DLC, a gun DLC. But it was poorly made, man. And it wasn't worth the price. If it was like Battlefield 1944, where we know it's like a sub game, it's not going to give you the full experience, but it's a cheaper version and you can actually experience it, I would have gone for it. But they wanted a full price for this game. And they've done a campaign, and the campaign was really forgettable and shit. It was just not a good game, man. A lot of people like trying to be revisionism, where they're trying to say this game was amazing. I'm sorry, but this game fucking failed. If it was amazing, it would have not fucking failed. It was shit. It didn't mean anything. The Battlefield was just stuck on there. They can do fun stuff, but it just felt like a Battlefield 4 DLC, and the full price for this game was not worth it. I'm sorry. F tier. Absolutely F tier. Now, on the 5 games left. Obviously, these are more modern games, where many more people has experienced them. But let's start with Battlefield 3. And I'm not going to play around with it. S tier straight away. However, the problem I had with this game was the limitations. Now, the limitations actually come in with not because of the game, but because of the platform I played, PlayStation 3. On PC, you were allowed to play 64 players on a map, where you constantly were in engagements, the map were filled up. It was so much fun. On PlayStation 3, we had the exact same massive maps, but only 25 people. And I'm not saying 25 on each team, by the way. 25 on both, like all together. 25. Was it 20? No, it was 24. 24, yeah. So there was 12 people on each team. So you see where I'm getting at this, right? Like, it just didn't have the same experience like the PC players did. However, that didn't stop me from having fun. That did not eliminate me from having fun. Yes, we had less player count, but I still fucking enjoyed this game more than a lot of these other Battlefield games below. The game had such an amazing maps, amazing voice lines, call outs, sound system. It was like way ahead of its time. We had amazing graphics, even on PlayStation 3. The graphics were fucking amazing. Then you got the campaign, obviously. You had the co-op, which was a bit of like they tried to copy Modern Warfare 2's Spec Ops. The maps were multiplayer for fucking phenomenal. They were amazing. I can't praise this game enough, man. It's just overall, it's one of those games that I wish that they absolutely remake it and post it. I would love to play this game again on PlayStation, man, with actual 64 players. It's one of those games that's going to be stuck with me. Like when I think about FPS games, this is the kind of game. When I think of Battlefield, this is the game that comes to my mind. Obviously, Bad Company 2 also has a special spot, but Battlefield 3 is the one. I remember skipping school, going, what is it, Sainsbury's, and grabbing one of my copies back in the day. I was excited, and I had countless of hours of fun with friends. And listen, this game is just phenomenal. I can't give me that meme from Homelander. Perfect. It's perfect.
And I gotta tell you, it was perfect. Perfect. Everything, down to the last minute details.
But moving on to the game that's not so perfect is Battlefield 5. Listen, Battlefield 5 is not a terrible game. However, it's not a good game either. And it's not the gameplay the issue, it's not the maps that are issue. The issues are very questionable choices made by game developers. For example, attrition ruined the game for me personally. Like, I had to... It was just so fucking bad. I get the idea. They want, like, for example, with the tanks, they want them to keep, getting ammo and going there so they don't stuck on a one place, like at the backside trying to shoot people. They don't spawn. They just don't stick at a spawn site or on a hill really far away that you can't reach. However, this created more problems where this time they would camp on the furthest place where they could get attrition. It was as bad. So that this mean that they would be sticking into one place and they wouldn't move as like Battlefield 3 when people were using tanks. It wasn't just great. The customization was a big, like a, you know, big fight over that with the fans, with the devs. It was very questionable, but the biggest thing is, it's just the gunplay was fun, the maps were fun. It just didn't elevate. It just had so many questionable things in there that kind of brought the gameplay and everything down. And when they had the momentum where the game could have been fucking amazing, they abandoned it. They, after the Pacific update, they were like, nah, fuck it, we're moving on. Fair enough. But it wasn't the best game. The campaign wise, it was shitty as well. I'm sorry. I have really strong feelings about the campaign. Like, they were advertised. Many times they said they want to explain about the untold story, so you don't get your typical Omaha Beach or whatever, which is fair enough. I would love that. I would love to hear the stories that are untold, but the stories that's being told is untrue and made up. It just doesn't make sense. And the true stories that is actually in there in the campaign is turned and twisted into something stupid. Like, for example, the heavy water, which was a real story, where the British and Norwegian commandos would penetrate into the thing and destroy it, so the Nazis couldn't, you know, build nuclear bombs. And guess what? The EA devs at DICE has decided to change that story where they killed off the real commandos in the game, and they put a 15-year-old fucking girl skiing and throwing knives across the fucking place. Like, what the fuck? So you want to go and do untold stories, but the story that's been untold, you fucking change it into... It pisses me off. For that one, I want to give F to this game. But it's not bad game. I'm going to put it on C. It's not... It's okay. It's not bad. It's not terrible. But it's not also really good. It's just there. Nah. Mediocre. Whatever. You know what I mean? But let's go with the GOAT. The GOAT! Oh, man. I don't know how long this is going to go, but are you enjoying this? Like and subscribe. Why not? Enjoy. I'm going to go with Battlefield 1. Battlefield 1 has changed the system. It brought back that fucking momentum back to Battlefield 1. I remember, man, the trailer hit, everybody going crazy. Everybody fucking going crazy for this game, and I absolutely fucking loved it. Holy shit. This is a game, it makes sense when you look at it. This is like, the dev team had passion, they had excitement. It was unique. The time period, or World War One as well, it was so fucking unique. I need to drink water. My mouth is dry. Do subscribe. But like I said, the uniqueness of this game is the time period. We didn't get any game in this time period ever. I don't remember. World War One was basically skipped because, you know, you had your typical trench warfare, which nothing happens, and which is fair enough. But they just fucking nailed it, bro. From the stories to, you know, the campaign. I didn't like the Italian one, if I'm gonna be honest with you. But other than that, all of them are fucking amazing. It was very emotional, and, you know, it made you think about it, like the horrors of war. And the horrors of war not just shown by the story, obviously, but through the map building. Like, especially in a multiplayer, like, you know, it was covered in dirt. Like, it actually felt like a battlefield. It actually felt like you were in a battle. That's how good it was. Then you look back to it, the sound system, the destruction. It was so fucking good. When people like scream and stuff, you actually get goosebumps when you first time you hear it. The gunplay was a bit questionable though. The reason why it was because the guns were very limited. You were talking about World War One, so what they did is they done variations of guns. So for example, you get MP18, which is an SMG. you get trench version. So the trench version is good with hipfire, so because you don't have any gun customizations in this one other than some skins. And then you have the same gun, MP18, with a scope, different variation. That was the way they were trying to implement more guns into it, and I still enjoyed it. You have to get used to it. It's not going to be a good gunplay like Battlefield 3, Battlefield Bad Company 2, or Battlefield 4, but it was still such a good, effective game. And I have yet to experience a game where I get the feeling, the atmosphere, the grittiness, and the way they've done it. It was so perfect, man. I can't describe much more about this. It's just so fucking good. And this one, I think I spent more hours on this game compared to Bad Company 2. And I'm talking about thousands of hours, by the way. I spent so many hours. Then the DLCs, the music, the soundtrack. Holy fucking shit. They fucking cooked. They cooked. This game had a lot of passion, but also you have to understand, this was one of the Battlefields in a long time that was not broken on release. It was genuinely, it was smooth as fuck, no bugs, barely any, and I love it, man. I love it. This game deserves S tier. Again, such a fucking amazing game. And talking about another amazing game, Battlefield 2042, S fuck off. Listen, Battlefield 2042 is the only Battlefield game that I spent least amount of times on. Usually on a lot of even Battlefield Hardline, I put some hours on it, like 60 hours or so. And Battlefield 2042, I only put 16 hours, as in according to the PlayStation. 16 fucking hours. Person who's been playing Battlefield since Vietnam for the past years and for decades. 16 hours. You know what that is? And I had a suspicion of this game. I was hurt with Battlefield 5, and this game, I didn't get hyped. I enjoyed the trailers. It was really promising, but I was like, fuck it, man. There's something fucking fishy. They're not going to cook this game. You also have to remind yourself that 90% of all the Battlefield veterans who were working on the previous Battlefield games, they left the company. And I didn't like what I've seen in this one. I was suspicious. I didn't know what it was with it, but I didn't trust them. I didn't trust them because I didn't think they would be able to do justice. Like, they wouldn't be able to do that. The magic is basically disappeared. And I was absolutely correct. Holy fucking shit. The amount of gaslighting, the content creators coming out saying this is the best Battlefield ever. Shut the fuck up. This was one of the worst Battlefields entirely. Even today, people are trying to say, oh, they updated the game. The game is really good now. The other day, I tried to give this game so many fucking tries, man. I downloaded this game maybe 10 times. I can't last more than 1 hour. There is nothing good about this game. The gunplay is fucking dog shit. The maps are fucking dog shit. Overall experience of the game is dog shit. This operator system with abilities are fucking dog shit. It's not a fucking good game. You can, listen, when you have a shit and you sprinkle some stuff on the shit to make it like a glitter, to make it more prettier, it's still a fucking shit. I'm sorry, this is a fucking shit game. You have a whole map. Like, basically, there's no flow to the map. So you get, like, let's say you capture half of the map. You'll be on an area that's all blue. Then you still get, like, enemy teams coming in from left, right. There is no flow to it. You don't know what it is. It's just people running around like a fucking headless chicken. And they took a lot of inspirations from Call of Duty. These motherfuckers, like, come on, man. Take inspiration from your own fucking work. Like, look what you made. You had masterpieces. And this is the game you came out with? Like, it's really hard to believe a people who made Battlefield 1, Battlefield 3, Bad Company 2 came out with this fucking dog shit. And not only that, they tried to gaslight people. So they took out a beta, like the beta was so broken. They were like, yeah, listen, this is like an old build. This is like a 3-month-old build. Motherfucker, when the game released, The game had even more bugs from the beta version. Like, what the fuck? It came out fucking dry as fuck, no content. The content was basically they had the least amount of guns in any Battlefield games. They had the least amount of maps. They had least amount of everything. It just was a shit game. So realistically, if I had something worse than fucking F, I would give it to this game, man. And these people fucking trying to gaslight people, trying to say this is a good game now, go fuck yourself. This is a shit game, and I didn't even buy this game. The thing is, I got this game with the PlayStation Plus, so I technically got it for free, and I still feel fucking scammed. It was shit. 16 hours. Imagine that. Imagine putting thousands of hours on every single fucking Battlefield games, and to this game, 16 hours? That is pathetic. Like, I lost the track, and this is the reason I'm a bit more skeptical with Battlefield 6, because, listen, I like it, but it's more promising than Battlefield 2042. At least they are kind of showcasing it more, so they're confident. So I'll give them that. Lastly and least, Battlefield 4. Do you remember when I talked about Battlefield 3 having only 24 people in one server for Conquest big maps? Well, this was a whole different experience, because this was the first game that was pretty much out on next gen, like basically PlayStation 4. And because it was more powerful, we were allowed to play with 64 players now. And I remember, man, playing this game felt so fucking smooth. Obviously, some people had some troubles. It wasn't the greatest start for the game, because the game was really broken when it was released. And I'm not talking about bugs, like few bugs. It was like a game-breaking bugs. Like when a tower came down, for example, the game fucking crashed, which was laughable. Ironically, I didn't really experience those stuff. Is it maybe because I kind of started playing it on PlayStation 3? Yeah, I started playing this game on PlayStation 3, so it was limited, but then I went on back to played it on PlayStation 4, and I didn't really, on console, it wasn't really that bad, but I believe it was really bad on the PC side. The game was crashing non-stop. It was rich in content though. In terms of maps, I wouldn't say they're better than Battlefield 3. The maps were good. They weren't the best, but they were good. Game-wise, the gunplay was really fun. You know, you had a lot to unlock. You had a lot of guns, even without the DLCs. I think this is like the game that with a launch with the most content, if I'm being honest. The campaign was okay. I really had a good fun with it. The maps were, some of them were fun, and it was really enjoyable. However, after a few years, that's when this game elevated with the DLCs, with the updates. We even had a community map created with the community. We were given a feedback on what we should put on the map, and this was when the Battlefield Hardline was on, and more people were still playing Battlefield 4. Imagine the new game comes out and people still play Battlefield 4, because when it was fixed, when it was running with bug-free, it was one of the best Battlefields to that, you know, in that period. It doesn't beat Battlefield 3, but you understand what I'm saying. It was, you know, on that system, because Battlefield 3 wasn't available on PlayStation 4. So on that system, this is the best Battlefield that you could actually play, and it was fun. I wouldn't put it on S tier though. I will put it on A tier. So overall, this is what I think about it. Should I change some stuff? Maybe I'll put Battlefield 2 on C tier. I know a lot of people are not going to believe in, and the reason I'm putting on C tier is not because it's bad. Look, C tier is not bad. C tier is not really good as well. It's in the middle. But overall, this is my thought process. And like I said, my least likes, like, even out of this, Battlefield Hardline deserves A tier than fucking 2042. 2042 is the worst fucking Battlefield ever, period. And I would never ever fucking take any motherfucker serious if they say this game is good now. It's fucking dog shit. And hopefully Battlefield 6 won't get the same treatment. And from the previews, and I was part of the EA labs, by the way, but I'm not allowed to share footage. So, but I did play it, and it's very promising. Obviously, it's a honeymoon phase right now. Like, even if I play the beta, I'm not going to have full faults. But there are some concerns I have with that game as well. The gunplay is one of them because of the recoil. Obviously, crossplay and everything like that. That's another thought about it. But you know what? I think I'm going to put this on D tier. Listen, it is what it is. But yeah, hopefully Battlefield 6 doesn't disappoint. And obviously, I will be live stream it. If you want to see it, subscribe. Anyways, guys, thank you for watching.